for House Bill 734.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, House Bill 734 comes to us as part of the ongoing oyster lease program that the department is administering from some legislation the past couple of years. There is a lawsuit pending in Harrison County Chancery Court. I believe the chancellor has issued an injunction, but has not yet ruled on the merits of the lawsuit. Some components of this bill, I believe, are intended to try to address some of the issues that were raised in that litigation. We do have a strike all, Mr. Chairman, and I ask to be recognized to explain that first.
You are so recognized.
Okay. So in section 1 of the bill, current law empowers the department or grants the department jurisdiction to lease out a percentage of the permitted bottom that we have as the state of Mississippi for oyster reef purposes. What this bill would do is designate specific reefs as either state-owned public reefs, which would be available to the public, and then everything else that's not a state-owned public reef would be subject to lease. That those reefs that are designated as state-owned public reefs are a large majority of what are typically referred to as or defined in the code as the natural reefs. I think we're working with the department to come up with a map so we can make sure that we're all talking about the same reefs and looking at the same reefs within that permitted area. The other deletion on line 23 of the strike all, that deletes the requirement in the current law that the business or corporation that would be the lessee be owned by a resident of the state of Mississippi. This deletes that resident ownership requirement. And then in section 2 of the bill, on lines 201 through 205 of the strike all, it provides that in no event shall the department designate more than 50% of the permitted areas available as state-owned reefs. So like I commented earlier, we're putting together a map so that we can make sure that that the reefs that are designated in section 1 don't comprise more than 50% of the permitted area, to make sure that we're all looking at the same reefs and talking about the same reefs. It's a brief explanation of the bill. Happy to answer any questions.
All right. Are there any questions from the members of the committee? I just want to go ahead and state this. We have asked for a map to show this where our historical reefs are located relative to the entire permitted area that the department has received from the Army Corps of Engineers for these purposes, correct?
Correct.
All right. The difference between the House and the Senate bill is that we've added some additional reefs by name in our proposed strike all. And I think I've got a list of them somewhere, but I'm just going to read the historical reefs that are in the Senate strike all, which are the Pass Christian Tonging, Pass Christian Dredging, Henderson Point, Pass Marianne, St. Stanislaus, Gravelines, Biloxi Bay, Pascagoula Western, Pascagoula Causeway, Waveland, Shearwater, and the St. Joe reefs are designated as the state public reefs. Is that correct? And is that your understanding?
That's what the strike alls provides, yes.
Okay. But this is, this does not include Telegraph Reef. Is that correct?
Telegraph would remain open for leasing, as well as other reefs in the permitted area that aren't currently leased would remain open for leasing.
And the goal of this is to, first of all, some of the comments that were made by the courts were that we could not limit this bill to residents of the state of Mississippi, correct? And we agreed with that that we agreed with that assertion that was before the court. So we were just wanting to go ahead and strike that from the existing law, correct?
That's my understanding.
Okay. And then what we're trying to do here is we're trying to make sure that these historical reefs do have some type of improvements that are made on it through this lease program. And then the goal would be to expand these historical reefs by allowing for a lessee to come in and improve the fringe areas of these reefs, correct? And continue to add on and increase the propagation of oysters, both naturally as well as through the lessee's operations. Is that kind of the goal here, is to make sure that we take care of what's already been established in the past and what has been historically known to help propagate when the state doesn't have the money to do it and has not been successful in maintaining these reefs over the past 20 years?
Well, I think the overarching goal was to try to let the commercial oyster industry have a part in restoring oysters to the Mississippi Sound, not just for the commercial benefits of oysters, but for all the other benefits that oysters provide to the estuary systems, such as habitat, water quality, those types of things. The department is a regulatory agency by definition. It's not really or hasn't been in the business of cleaning reefs and propagating reefs. So the goal of the program was to get the commercial oyster fishermen involved in the maintenance and maintenance of established reefs.
And the
New reefs.
success.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Any other
Chair.
questions by the member? Yes, sir. Senator Seymour.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would just ask that the map that we're going to request of them, as far as the historical reefs, that it be geographical back to the pre-Bonnie Carey size of the reefs to establish.
Yes, sir. The map that we've asked the department to provide for us will have those historical reefs, and by the definition, by designation, whether it be by block or whatever is customary for through DMR. And then we also want the acreage areas of those reefs so that we can understand a little bit better with it relative to the area of the permitted zones that the state has received from Army Corps of Engineers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions? Senator Ladner.
Would you say that this is our way of making it easier on our public fishermen or our public oyster fishermen, like as it is now compared to what it was in the court system?
I really can't speak to what the issue is with the courts, but I know that our goal here is to make this is to go ahead and make sure that we have more area for the public reefs for people to oyster fish from, and then at the same time try to do something that's going to help the future of oysters fishing and fishermen for generations to come.
So would you say in the sense that what are we going through with the court right now? By this bill right here, will it change and make it better to the point to where they will not take us back to court?
I don't know that. What we're trying to do is to try to make it better and address some of the issues as we understand it from conversations with some of the fishermen and conversations with DMR on it as well. But yeah, we're trying to address those issues and meet their concerns. Any other questions? Senator Seymour? Yep. You have a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Title do pass, strike all.
The motion is title sufficient to pass, strike all. All those in favor? Any opposed? All right, we'll go ahead and report that bill out. Thank you for your work this session. And I'll take a motion for rise and report. Thank you very much.